Have you ever noticed that no matter how hard you try to align with what you want, there are days when nothing seems to respond? As if you did everything right, visualized, affirmed, breathed, but reality kept delivering more of the same. And then you start to wonder, am I vibrating wrong? The truth may be unsettling, but also liberating. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you emit. And what you emit isn't what you occasionally think, but the state you unconsciously sustain. The biggest trap is thinking that high vibration means always being happy, productive, smiling, as if it were a forced, performed state and not something alive, natural, coherent. But true vibration begins where effort ends. Today you'll understand why this confusion happens. You'll see that your frequency doesn't depend on perfection, but on presence, on coherence, on returning to the body. Let's step out of the mystical and into the measurable. Let's descend from the mind into the field. And before we dive deep into this journey, if something is already lighting up inside you just from these words, I gently invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, not as a favor, but as a choice to align with content that expands your frequency. Because what we're about to explore here isn't just information, it's activation. It's the kind of awareness that shifts your field without you needing to do more. Just remembering who you already are in your purest state. By the end of this journey, you'll know how to identify where your vibration really is, how to recalibrate in seconds, and why your external reality begins to shift the very moment your inner state changes with truth. But for that, you need to be fully here. So take a breath, feel. Forget, just for a moment, everything you've been told about energy, the law of attraction, vibration, and come discover with me that maybe the key was never about raising your vibration, but about returning to the point of coherence where everything is already aligned. First, let's understand what is happening with your energy and your consciousness. You've probably found yourself in the middle of the day feeling heavy, without really knowing why. As if the world were misaligned and you were swimming against an invisible current. The truth is, that current exists, and it isn't outside of you. It's inside your internal state, in the energy you emit even without realizing it. The problem is that talking about vibrating high became trendy, but no one explains what it actually means in practice. It's not a pretty mantra. It's not smiling all the time. It's a real, measurable, perceptible, energetic state. Your energy is not a mystical concept. It's a living combination of what you think, what you feel, and how your body behaves. These three elements, mind, emotion, and body, create a field. And this field is the signal you transmit to the universe, like an internal Wi-Fi always active. When that signal is clear and strong, life responds with more flow. You feel things loading faster, like a fast internet connection. But when the signal is weak, blocked, or confused, everything feels slower, heavier, distant. It's like trying to watch a video on failing Wi-Fi. And the curious thing is that almost no one stops to check this signal. We wake up, grab the phone, dive into autopilot, and without noticing we're vibrating fear, comparison, urgency. And then we wonder why the day feels hard, but we already started it in misalignment mode. Now remember a day when you woke up and chose silence before noise. You breathed, you felt, you looked at the sky and gave thanks. On that day, it seemed like the universe smiled back at you, didn't it? People felt kinder, things flowed more easily. You didn't force anything, you aligned. This is where everything begins. Before trying to vibrate high, you need to know where you are. There's no use running if you're pointed in the wrong direction. No use trying to align if you don't even know the frequency you're emitting. Awareness is the first step. It is the 0 point of the quantum leap. Let's pause now, just for 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. Feel your chest, your head, your abdomen. From 0 to 10, what's your vibration right now? Don't judge. Just observe. This simple gesture already changes everything. You stepped out of autopilot and returned to center. This is the foundation of conscious vibration, presence. It's not about forcing, it's about tuning. The energy you emit is like a silent language. You can say "I'm fine" with your mouth, but if your body is tense and your mind agitated, the field doesn't lie. The universe reads signals, not words, and these signals come from your entire state. So before trying to attract what you want, before visualizing, affirming, or mentalizing, the real question is, what am I emitting right now? What is my vibration saying without words? And am I even listening? Because the reality you live doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you energetically sustain, and that sustaining isn't built only from intention, but from attention, from your ability to notice the field before trying to change it. You can't change what you don't see, and you can't tune into a new frequency with a broken radio. That's why awareness comes before everything. It's the real first step. It's the moment you stop repeating and start creating. Your vibrational state is like a mirror of your now. And what you see there might be uncomfortable, but it can also be liberating. Because if you can perceive it, then you can transform it. From this point on, when reality starts to align, the question arises, what's really happening? Have you ever had a day when everything felt magical, without any logical explanation? When you met the right person at the right place, received the perfect message at the perfect time, or something resolved itself so smoothly it felt like a miracle. Those moments are not luck. They are a direct reflection of your vibrational field. Reality doesn't align by chance. It organizes itself according to the frequency you sustain. Focus and emotion are not just internal sensations. They are the lenses that shape the possible paths in front of you. You don't control everything, but you do choose which reality line to connect with. Imagine that every possible version of your day already exists as a road. There's the road of chaos, urgency, and fear, but there's also the road of lightness, beautiful coincidences, and the right encounter. The vibration you sustain is like a vehicle that chooses which of these paths you'll travel, and life responds like a spiritual GPS, updating the map based on your signal. Now think of a moment when you felt good, at peace, connected, and suddenly an invitation came, a response appeared, or someone said something that felt like it was written just for you. That synchronicity didn't come because you forced it. It came because you were ready to see it. It's like being on a dance floor. While the music plays in a rhythm you don't like, you stay still. But when the sound shifts into something that moves you, your body reacts, your soul responds, and you start dancing effortlessly. Vibration is that music, and reality is the dance floor. If you change the frequency of your internal song, the external situations that were asleep start to move in your direction. You don't have to force it, you just have to tune in. Let's do a small exercise. Remember a day that was full of good coincidences. Seriously, pause for a second now and pick one. Now ask yourself, how was I feeling that day? What was I thinking and feeling on the inside? Most of the time you were calm, or confident, or surrendered. Your field wasn't trying to control, it was open, and that's what creates the space for alignment to happen. Reality responds to your level of openness. The more you align internally, the more the external reorganizes to reflect that state. This isn't magic, it's vibrational coherence. It's the dance between the visible and the invisible. And here's my question for you now. What's the greatest synchronicity you've ever experienced? Or, what word represents the internal state you want to sustain today? Write it in the comments. Your sharing might open a new path for someone else too. When you name the state you want to live in, you begin to vibrate in that direction. It's not about controlling what comes. It's about becoming the version that's already on the path, the one that recognizes when the universe whispers, "This way." Because the truth is, reality doesn't start aligning out there. It starts when you align in here, with the focus you choose to hold, with the emotion you allow yourself to feel, and with the space you create to let the new come in. And it's from this point on that we encounter the most common mistake, faking a high vibration. There's a point where almost everyone stumbles on the vibrational journey. It's when they try to look okay instead of actually being okay. When they repeat positive phrases like spells, hoping the mind will speak louder than the body. But energy isn't fooled so easily. The biggest mistake isn't feeling fear, sadness, or anxiety. The biggest mistake is trying to hide those states behind pretty words. Saying everything's great while your body is tense doesn't produce high vibration. It produces incoherence, and incoherence creates more noise than signal. You can repeat a mantra 1,000 times, but if inside something in you is contracted, the field picks up the contraction, not the word. Vibration doesn't respond to speech. It responds to what you actually feel. Maybe you've experienced this before. That moment when you try to affirm abundance, but your breath is short and your chest is tight. You say, "I trust," but your physiology is screaming, "I'm afraid." It's like spraying perfume over garbage. For a few seconds, the smell improves, but soon the original odor returns because nothing was cleaned at the base. The affirmation doesn't remove what's underneath. This is the point so many ignore. Energy can't be controlled by force. There's no use pushing phrases against unresolved emotions. There's no point in sprinkling glitter over a cracked wall. True vibration arises when you allow yourself to feel. The body holds memories, tensions, and unspoken stories. It's not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you. When you say, "I'm fine," but your body doesn't believe it, it's like trying to accelerate with the brake on. The wheel spins, but the car doesn't move. And the most important part, this doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. High vibration isn't the absence of uncomfortable emotion. It's the ability to not get lost inside it. It's being conscious enough to feel and release. You don't need to force joy. You need to be honest with yourself. Emotional truth opens doors that forced positivity keeps shut, because the universe responds to your authenticity, not your performance. Every time you try to appear elevated when you're not, you create a disconnection between mind and body. That vibrational gap is what blocks the flow. That's what prevents the field from reading a clear signal. Because real vibration is born from coherence, not a mask. So instead of asking, "How do I vibrate high right now?" ask, "What in me needs to be felt first?" That question doesn't pull you down. It frees you. It brings you back to the axis where energy can finally rise. There is power in energetic authenticity. When you admit, "I feel heavy today," and breathe into it, the field registers openness. And openness is high frequency. Because high vibration is not the top of the mountain. It's the honest path between where you are and where you're allowing yourself to go. It's the bridge that forms when you stop pretending and start feeling with presence. And now let's understand the key, coherence between mind, heart, and body. Perhaps the most important question in this journey is, why doesn't my vibration stay high even when I try so hard? The answer may lie in a lack of coherence, because it's not enough to think positively if your heart is in another rhythm. And it's no use wishing with your mind if your body is still in defense mode. Coherence is when mind, emotion, and body move in harmony. It's when what you think, feel, and do walk in the same direction. This state is not just beautiful, it's powerful. The quantum field responds more quickly and clearly when you enter this inner alignment. Science has already confirmed. The heart emits an electromagnetic field stronger than the brain, and this field influences the environment around you. When you breathe consciously and generate an emotion like gratitude or love, this field expands. Imagine your body as an orchestra. If each instrument is playing a different tune, you create noise, confusion, tension. But when all align to the same melody, the vibration that comes from you is living music to the universe. You've probably felt this at some point. That moment when everything feels calm, clear, in sync. You're not just thinking, you're inhabiting the thought. You're not just wishing for peace, you are peace. That's the state of vibrational coherence. And it's much simpler than it seems. Coherence doesn't demand perfection. It requires presence. It requires a moment of pause to step out of mental chaos and drop into the heart. Shall we do this together now? Place your hand on your chest and close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply. Inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. As you breathe, bring to mind something simple you're grateful for today. Just feel it. No rush, no expectations. This small gesture changes everything. You stepped out of the racing mind and into the heart. You synchronized your body, feelings, and thoughts into a single pulse. And that pulse is what the field recognizes as clarity, as a clean signal. You don't need to struggle to manifest. You just need to learn how to sustain this state more often. The more coherence, the less resistance. And the less resistance, the faster reality responds. Because now, you're emitting a whole vibration, Now I want to invite you to register that vibration below. Write in the comments one word or a short phrase that represents the inner state you want to strengthen this week. It could be something like calm, trust, clarity, I already am. Choose your word and release it into the field. This isn't just an interaction, it's a ritual. Because when you declare your coherence, the field listens, and when you share, you anchor, and you inspire others to do the same. And now we move to the morning, the secret window to shift your reality line. The way you start your day is more important than you've been told. There's an invisible window, right in the first few minutes of the morning, when your vibration is more open, more influenceable, more malleable. That's when you can plant the frequency of your day, or without noticing, repeat the same old pattern. In the first moments after waking up, your brain is still between waves. Not fully awake, yet no longer dreaming. This state is highly moldable, and what you feel and think in this interval acts as an energetic seed. But what do most people do when they open their eyes? They grab their phone. They immediately connect to the chaos of the outer world. News, messages, notifications, comparison, and just like that, they're vibrating out of alignment before even getting up. Have you felt that? Waking up, checking your phone, and suddenly feeling anxious, as if you didn't even get the chance to start well, as if you were thrown into a current of noise the moment you woke. That's no coincidence. It's vibrational programming. The quantum field responds to your dominant state, and the dominant state of the day is usually born in the first hours. That's why morning is such a powerful key. It doesn't just shape your mind, it anchors your frequency for the next 12 hours. Imagine your first cup of the day setting the tone of your vibration. Would you choose clean water or emotional gasoline? Would you start with silence and presence, or with noise, anxiety, and urgency? This choice defines the type of reality line you access. You don't need a 2-hour morning to change everything. Just one intentional pause, 3 to 5 minutes of conscious breathing, a thought of genuine gratitude, and a clear intention for what you wish to live today. This micro-ritual changes everything, because by doing it, you give your system a direction. You tell the field, this is the path I want to walk. And the field, like a watchful mirror, begins to organize, even if it's invisible at first. Think of a day that started with rush, phone, and problems. How did the rest unfold? Now remember a day that started with silence, with intention. How did people treat you? How did time pass? Can you see how your initial frequency affects everything? Morning is the starting point of your timeline. If you shift that starting point, you shift the road you'll travel. You don't force the future, you change your signal. And the signal sooner or later changes the landscape. If you wake up and step right into the body of the same old self, you relive the same reality line. But if you breathe, give thanks, and set an intention, you access a new vibrational identity. And with that, a new possible reality. The field responds to your dominant frequency, not to your desire later on. That's why the earlier you take command of your state, the sooner the universe starts responding differently. And it's not because you're controlling, it's because you're coherent. Morning is where the alchemy begins. It's the most strategic moment to change everything, without needing to change everything from the outside in. Your reality line doesn't begin on the clock. It begins with the first thought and the first breath. And so we now move to the micro adjustments. What will truly bring you back to high vibration during the day? The truth is that no one stays 100% aligned all the time. Life happens. Demands arise, triggers appear. But what separates those who live in coherence from those who get lost in frequency is not how often a person gets off track. It's how quickly they return to center. Let's go back to the Wi-Fi metaphor. The signal can fluctuate, drop, or suffer interference, but you have the power to reconnect. You don't need an elaborate ritual, just a conscious micro-adjustment. These micro-adjustments are like small energetic resets, short pauses, intentional breaths, moments of presence amid chaos. It's these small breaks that pull you out of autopilot and bring you back into vibrational now. Have you ever caught yourself in the middle of a trigger, heart racing, mind reacting, and suddenly remembered to take a deep breath, and everything started to shift inside? That's the power of a few seconds of reset. Don't underestimate the impact of these small gestures. because it's exactly in those subtle moments that you reprogram your reality line. The field is always reading your state, and every conscious choice is a new transmission. Think of your day as a timeline with checkpoints. Each checkpoint can be a chance for realignment. You can create your own energetic reminders. Every time you touch your phone, drink water, open a door, take a breath, and bring your body back to center. These resets don't take time, they give time back. Because when you're present, you move with more precision, more lightness, more coherence, and that creates more flow, as if the world stopped resisting you. You can choose 3 daily triggers to be your reconnection portals. They work as vibrational anchors, small reminders of who you are becoming and of where you want to vibrate from. Want to make this a silent commitment with the field? Choose now one simple daily gesture, something you repeat without thinking, and turn it into a moment of reset. Then, write here in the comments what your anchor gesture will be. It could be, every time I drink water, I breathe. Or every time I pick up my phone, I pause for 3 seconds. Or even, every time I feel tension, I loosen my body. What matters isn't the complexity, but the intention behind it. This is the most real way to live in high vibration, not trying to be perfect all the time, but gently returning every time you lose balance. This practice turns ordinary days into conscious ones, and that consciousness becomes a field that attracts new responses. Vibrational coherence isn't built in grand moments. It's made of soft returns, of invisible reminders, of inner gestures no one sees, but the universe deeply feels. And in this way, we'll learn to protect your frequency without becoming a spiritual bubble. There's a fine line between protecting your vibration and isolating yourself from the world. Many, upon awakening to energetic sensitivity, start avoiding people, places, situations, thinking they need to live in total silence to stay aligned. But true protection isn't escape. It's internal strengthening. You're not here to hide from life. You're here to learn how to remain whole, even in challenging environments. Protecting your frequency doesn't mean cutting everything out. It means knowing what comes in, what stays, and what returns to the universe. It's about creating a field so strong that nothing breaks you. It just doesn't affect you. In a hyper-connected world, where everything vibrates and collides, your energy needs a firm foundation. Because you won't always be able to avoid that heavy environment, that loaded conversation, that news that pierces you. But you can choose how you'll respond to all of it. Think of your frequency as the signal from a Wi-Fi router. When the signal is weak, any interference knocks it down. But when it's strong and stable, even outside noise doesn't affect the connection with what's essential. You stay online with your truth. Maybe you felt your field being drained, a conversation that left you exhausted, an environment where your body tensed up for no reason. That's not weakness. It's energetic sensitivity. And sensitivity is a skill, not a flaw. The secret lies in learning how to regulate that sensitivity, in recognizing moments when you're too open, without filters, without containment, without grounding, and in those moments, returning to center, reinforcing your field, reconnecting with your source. You don't need to fight other people's energy, nor absorb everything in the air. You can imagine your field as an intelligent membrane. It filters, chooses, lovingly returns what doesn't belong to you, and keeps what nourishes, strengthens, and inspires you. Simple tools like conscious breathing, visualizing light in your chest, recalling a moment of peace, or even a word that anchors, you can become powerful vibrational shields. Not as walls of defense, but as reminders that you have a center, that you don't need to react to everything, that it's possible to observe without absorbing, that being present isn't the same as being vulnerable. You can enter a heavy environment and remain light. You can hear a criticism without internalizing the attack. You can feel another's pain without taking it on. That's energetic maturity. True protection is born of awareness. You know what affects you, and choose whether to make space for it. You feel when something isn't yours, and let it go. You honor your vibration without needing to harden, because being aligned means being receptive and strong at the same time. The world won't stop pulsing chaos, but you can learn to keep your field steady like a flame that doesn't go out in the wind, but dances with it, without losing its light. That's the balance between presence and protection. And from here we move into vibrational identity. Who is the you that's emitting this signal? So often you try to shift your vibration. You practice breathing, affirmations, visualizations, but something in you keeps collapsing the same reality. As if, no matter how right you do everything, the universe still responds to the same version of you. That's because at the root of your vibration lies your vibrational identity, the who you believe you are. Not just in what you consciously think, but in the phrases you repeat without noticing, in the story you keep telling about yourself. Phrases like, I'm anxious, I'm unlucky, I am what happened to me, or even I work hard but nothing works out act like invisible labels stuck to your vibrational forehead, and the field responds to those labels. You can try to vibrate abundance, but if deep down you believe you're someone who must fight for everything, that identity emits a frequency of lack, and that's the signature the universe recognizes as yours, even when your mind says otherwise. True vibration is born from the coherence between who you believe you are and the field you desire to access. It's not enough to act like someone confident. You must see yourself as someone confident. That's the difference between performance and frequency. Remember a moment when you let go of an old identity. Maybe a job that no longer made sense, a role that kept you small, a mask that weighed you down, and you chose to live from another place. That moment may have been uncomfortable, but something inside you knew you couldn't maintain that you anymore. It was as if your body said, this no longer fits me. That's the vibrational identity shift. When the old hasn't left yet, but the new has already started to vibrate. That's when the frequency changes, not when you achieve something, but when you stop being who was keeping it from arriving. Reality doesn't respond to your mind's effort. It responds to your being's natural state. Imagine your vibrational identity as an energetic outfit. You walk the world wearing this invisible garment, and everything around you reads this signal. People, opportunities, synchronicities. If you change the outfit, you change the response. But changing the outfit takes courage, because it's made of old habits, memories, survival stories. It once protected you, gave you belonging, but now it may be blocking what you want to live. And that's not guilt, it's consciousness in motion. You don't have to abandon everything at once, but you can start by releasing one piece of the label, letting an old phrase die quietly, and choosing a new phrase as a new direction. Words are vibrational codes. Choose them with presence. And now I want to invite you into this moment of rewriting. What's the phrase you most repeat about who you are, that no longer matches who you're becoming? And what would be the new phrase, the new vibrational signature you want to carry from this moment on? Write these two phrases in the comments, the one you're letting go of and the one you're choosing to live. This is a symbolic act, but also a vibrational one, because when you declare, you anchor. You don't manifest through effort, you manifest through identity. And identity is something you can choose consciously when you start remembering who you are, beyond what you were taught to believe. And from this point on, we identify the signs that your vibration is already high, even if you don't see everything changing yet. Many people give up on the vibrational journey because they don't see immediate external changes. The mistake is thinking that manifestation starts on the outside, when in fact it begins on the inside, in the invisible, the subtle, the almost imperceptible. The frequency adjusts first in your internal state, and only then begins to shape the reality around you. It's like planting a tree. For weeks you see nothing but the soil, but beneath the ground roots are forming, strengthening, expanding. And when the crown finally appears, it already has a foundation to grow. With vibration, the same thing happens. The first fruits are not cars, trips, or money. They are small signs of a shift in consciousness, subtleties that show you're at a different point in the journey. And it takes sensitivity to recognize that. Maybe you notice you're more present, less reactive, able to say no without guilt, feeling clearer about what nourishes you and what you no longer want to carry. Maybe you catch yourself breathing before responding, or noticing your body with more attention. Maybe situations that used to destabilize you now only cause a slight discomfort that quickly dissolves. This is silent vibrational evolution. You begin to experience small synchronicities. Someone calls you at the right time. a video appears with the exact message. You dream of something and the next day it happens. These are echoes from the field saying, keep going. Another sign is peace without a reason. You're in the middle of chaos, but inside there's a center, a silence that anchors you, even when everything seems disorganized. This peace is one of the greatest confirmations that the field is responding. It doesn't depend on the external, it precedes the external. And then you start realizing that not everything has changed outside, but everything has already started to change inside. You're no longer asking, you are becoming. And that changes absolutely everything. People around you may not understand, but they start noticing something different about you. Your voice changes, your gaze has more presence. You stop vibrating lack and start emanating stability. It's as if your field is completely reorganizing. And even when challenges arise, you feel they no longer carry the same weight. You don't collapse, you observe. You don't get lost. You realign. This is a clear sign your vibration is consolidating. High vibration is not about feeling euphoric all the time. It's about feeling coherent. It's about sustaining an inner state without external guarantees. It's about living as if you already are and letting the world catch up with that step. So if you've been feeling these signs, even if subtle, even if small, understand this: the shift has already begun. You've already entered a new frequency, and this frequency is already writing a new reality for you. And now that you've walked through every layer of this journey, tell me honestly, what part of your life is still vibrating in effort mode instead of coherence mode? Which area is still echoing the sound of your old frequency, even after everything your heart has already realized? Maybe you're still waiting for the world to change, so that you can finally feel relief, peace, freedom. But what if it's the other way around? What if it's your internal frequency that's already changing everything, even if the fruits are still underground? What if the vibration you're sustaining today is the root of everything you dream of? Remember, you don't have to force anything or fight. You don't have to appear strong, positive, perfect. You just need to return to your center every time the old frequency tries to pull you back. And it's in this return that your new reality begins to take form. Because vibrating high isn't about constant euphoria, it's about constant coherence. It's when your body, your mind, and your heart start walking in the same rhythm, and the field around you has no choice but to respond. So now I want to invite you to a small symbolic gesture. Write here in the comments a word that represents the state you want to sustain from today on. It could be clarity, trust, lightness, truth, abundance. Choose the one that makes your body breathe a little deeper when you read it. That word is your vibrational anchor, your seed. And if this video lit something up inside you, if it reminded you of something you already knew but had forgotten, I warmly invite you to like this content, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel. This space is more than videos. It's a field. A field for those rebuilding themselves from within. A space for those who already understand that reality doesn't change by magic, but through the silent vibration we sustain when no one's watching. And if you felt that, you're already part of it. Welcome back to your frequency. Keep vibrating. Keep remembering. Keep returning to your center, because it's exactly in that space that reality begins to bend in your direction.